Okay, as promised, I'm back with a kind of update on, just where you've been, Shonda, because I hate having to do these kind of videos, but it is what it is, because it's been a while since I've been on here. Um, but basically, my dad died in August. I know, terrible thing to have to just start a video off with. Um, and he died from the same thing that my mom died from. So that's extra. Sometimes I feel like, I must have the genetic gene pool of who knows what. I'm trying my best not to curse so much, so we're just gonna leave it at who knows what. Both my parents died of colon cancer, so of course, that means I get my colon checked more often. They're talking about 35 instead of the usual 40. Well, that's what they were saying when I had my mom. I'm supposed to have my next physical sometimes this week. I think tomorrow, actually. So now with my dad having it, they maybe push that up soon. But yeah, 35 right now is when they were saying they want to have me have my first colonoscopy. So I've been dealing with that. Anybody who knows me personally knows that I am a daddy's girl to the core. And I'm not gonna cry on here, so you don't have to worry about getting your tissues, because honestly, cancer turns your grief into something. I don't know what it does. I just, because after a while it gets to the point where they're not going to get better. So it's like you're sad that they're gone and you miss them, but you can't wish for everything to be good and like nothing had happened. That's not the reality. So there's that oddball relief of they're not suffering, but I miss them. And it's odd. It leaves you in a very odd place sometimes. I know just yesterday, and honestly, I don't know, like for me it feels like I don't just grieve that he's gone. It's like certain things will pop up and then it makes me cry. And it was so crazy because yesterday I opened a pickle jar for my daughter, and Mount Olive pickles, in case you've never looked, it says at the corner of Cucumber and Vine, Mount Olive, North Carolina. Okay, very random, I understand, but it made me remember like one of the last trips that me and my father took the girls. We took them to Hershey, PA, which is another place to where a company basically, I guess, built up a town. And it's knowing everything's, there's Hershey Kisses on the light bulb, the light post, and it was really cool. It was one of our last outings, and I was telling my husband about it, and I just all of a sudden like broke down crying. And you just, like I said, you just don't know exactly what it is that's going to trigger something, because in my mind I guess I started thinking that, well, you know what, we're not going to be able to do our little road trips like that anymore. I'd moved to Texas, so it wasn't like we was really doing anything like that anymore, like when I was in Maryland. But yeah, I guess it just kind of like hit me like that, because we used to go, we used to try to do things special for the girls' birthday. Like, they always go to the zoo if it was something local, or one time we drove all the way to New Jersey to go to Rainforest Cafe, because the one in Maryland had closed down, and Madison really wanted to go there. So we drove up to there, and we just drove up to eat at that restaurant, and then we let them just put their feet on the sand, and then we drove back home. We used to do crazy stuff like that. So and at the time, yesterday, it was just, I guess, just a sad moment for me to really say that, okay, that's not here anymore. you know. My dad and I, we had the kind of relationship where we didn't talk every day, but like when we did talk, we talked for hours. So we kind of had that kind of compound. But you know, we always, and that's always how we've been. You know, it started from when I was a little girl, because you know, he worked in corrections, and so you know, he worked 7 days on, 4 days off, and you know, he would come and get me every pay week. You know, every 2 weeks with his pay, he would come and get me. But in the between times, I really couldn't talk to him until, you know, he was, I guess, the weekend, whatever that span of his 4 days, because he worked night shift. So when I'm in school, he was asleep, and when I came home, he was at work. So you know, our relationship kind of built on that. You know, not talking every day, but having this long conversation when we did get to talk. And that's how we've been, you know, from the time I was 11 until, you know, here recently. And so I don't feel that every day, in the sense that my dad is not with me. You know, it's not in the physical anymore. You know, I don't feel it every day because he wasn't in the everyday, you know, routine with me. Yeah, but sometimes when I talk to him, it dawns on me. This is, you know, he's really not here. So that's that. So that happened there in August. Been doing some house hunting, sort of, kind of, hoping, you know. I just did a video on positive intent and all that. So that's, we're trying to manifest this house. So, been working very hard on that. I have some makeup stuff that I bought that I do want to talk to you about, to you guys. The girls are starting to want to wear their hair curly, so I've been venturing that. You know, like, not, I mean, they'd either, if they had their hair out, they like their hair pressed. Well, not really pressed. I don't press their hair. I flat iron their hair. I have a wet straight flat iron that I flat iron their hair with. So, either like the hair flat iron, or, you know, their hair with braids or plaits or things like that. But now they are experimenting with having their hair out and curly. So, that started a new set of, you know, trying to find things to keep the frizz down and, you know, whatnot. So that's some stuff I can talk about. What else? I came to some conclusions about my hair. I'm not freeforming anymore. I don't think my hair can do it. My hair creeps out of my locks. At this point, I've come to the conclusion that my hair just creeps out of my locks if they are not twisted. Like, they will, like, all of the hair will just foam out of the lock, and then the lock is just got all this like fuzz of hair, and there's just a little bit of hair hanging on by the lock, and that's not healthy. I don't know what that means for my type of hair, what it is, but it just creeps out of the lock. It's so, my hair is so fine, you know, or the texture of it is not conducive to just free forming, I think. And so I decided I'm going to go back to my old ways, like my first set of locks, you know, be twisting on a regular and seeing how that goes. I told you I picked apart a lot of the marriages. I believe so. I think I'm back up to about 122 locks now. I've gotten all the way down to 69. So, yeah. I'm up to about 120 something. What else? I'm thinking about, me and Annie was talking, and I'm thinking about trying to branch out and talk about some other things, whatever. I feel like shooting the breeze about on here, just so I can stay more consistent. Because, yeah, sometimes you just don't want to talk about hair and makeup and stuff. You want to talk about other things. So, maybe I could be more consistent if I got to talk more about the things I love. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But, so I'll be back with a few other videos. But I just wanted to kind of come on here real quick and just give a kind of intro where I've been. You know, hate doing those videos, but I feel it's necessary. Alright, you guys. See you in a bit. Peace.